Hello and welcome to Microsoft Hates Greg. My name is Greg Deckler, and maybe if some of you, I know some of you have been wondering where the hell I've been the last 3 months, right? So I think the last video I posted was around April time frame. So by way of explanation, it is not that Adam and Patrick sicked their goons on me, as one concerned person emailed me. It's actually I went to Japan. Okay, so basically, I've been wanting to go to Japan for years and years and years, and Buddy Phil and we decided we were going to take our kids, and we just went. And so we've been preparing it for a while. We went at the end of May, beginning of June, and so I just kind of took May off. I kind of took, in terms of prepping and everything, all the stuff I needed to do to get stuff ready around the house and stuff. And then when I got back from Japan, I just was it's been taking me a while to get back in the swing of things. It's kind of nice having some downtime. I'm not writing any books currently, not doing any video, just kind of relaxing, and spending time with my son and all that sort of thing. So that's where I've been the last few months. It's all kind of centered around the Japan trip, which I highly recommend. If you've never been, I highly recommend going. We spent like a week in Tokyo and a week in Osaka, and did some day trips to Iga and Kyoto and Nara and Uji and stuff like that. So highly recommend it. It's a fantastic time. I definitely want to go back. I might even buy a house there. So there you have it. So now, of course, when I take those 3 months off, May, June, and July, it just happens to be like probably three of the greatest Power BI updates in the last three years, probably 3.5 years, right? Of course. In this video, we're going to go through the May, June, and July updates. I'm going to call out what I think is interesting and that sort of thing. So yeah, let's get to it. So of course, they have visual calculations and custom totals are generally available. Custom totals, none, and average. They added that. Average was definitely missing. So it's kind of cool that they added none. Let's see if I can pull this up. So I just been doing some experimentation with them. They still are a little bit, well, I mean, they're not broken if in terms of how they work exactly. I think it's still kind of a misnomer that they use the term, um, if you will, custom total, because they're not always a custom total. Um, how best to show that? So if I do something like, well, where do I even get custom totals? Like here, I have to, that's the other thing is you still have, even that you still have to kind of screw around with things when you want to delete the custom total and stuff because what it does. But so example, if I do count, right, then count, well, that did it. Wait a minute. Oh, duh. So sum, if I do custom total calculation and I do count, it's it's changing all of them. So it's not really a custom total. I still have that concern, but they did add average, I believe. Custom total calculation. They have none. They have average. If I do none, then it gets rid of that there, which I don't know. Sometimes it seems like well, it's because it's executing on this visual. And so this line doesn't have anything in it as far as the number is concerned, all of that sort of fun stuff. But I don't know. It still seems a little hokey to me that you're really not just changing the total, you're changing the entire column, the calculation of the entire column, right? So that's what's really going on. So this is if is at level. So there you go. So if you wanted to do some smarter kind of stuff, so I could maybe do a count. I don't know. Maybe have the count only apply to the total if I use is at level. Um, is at level Y column 2. I don't know. I'd have to really dig into this and see why is at level column 2. Oh, because the total is not a column 2 column. Okay, that makes sense. So anyway, I still need to play around with it a little more, but I still think even though it's GA, it's still a little hokey because like you're not just changing the total calculation, you're changing the entire column, which to me seems broken. But again, we're going to count it as a win because at least there is some type of solution for it, versus writing a bunch of DAX code. All right. So set as a landing page. I mean, my God. I mean, how long have people been asking for that, right? Default format string locale for dates and numbers, right? And of course, I just skipped across all the Copilot BS and stuff like that because nobody cares. Input slicer numeric column support. Matrix Auto Expand, Text Box, Power BI. I mean, Azure Maps for. I mean, look at all these generally available things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right? We have 10 things. Okay, and I did this. I did watch this. Let me bring this up. This is 2025. This is everything that went in 2025 that went from preview to GA. And you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 things. Only 16 things in all of 2025 went from preview to GA. And in this release, we have like 10, at least 10. And then in June, it's like another 10. And in July, it's like another 10. So they're outpacing. It's like somebody, like some problem child at in the Power BI team there at Microsoft, like was suddenly removed and gotten out of the way, and now there's a new sheriff in town that actually is kicking ass. That's what all I can say about this May, June, July releases. There's so many things that people have been asking for so long that are in the product now, and you're actually getting things from preview to GA in a much faster fashion. Things I've been bitching about on this channel for like 3 years. Now suddenly it's all getting fixed, right? It's crazy. So kudos to the team for finally getting, doing stuff that people actually care about. Like the majority of the community cares about, because most of the majority of the community probably doesn't care about TMDL. Probably doesn't care about most of the crap that has been released in the last 3 years for Power BI. Most of the community, 80, 90% of the community does not care about it. So kudos for actually getting the ship righted. I don't know what you want to call it, but I'm a fan. Keep doing what you're doing at this point. Then the June release, right? We get the shape map. Again, skipping over the BS. We get the shape map. Now, the shape map, June release 2026, right? Guess when it was released? June 2016 is the first time it showed up in preview, right? So 10 years. It took 10 years to get this from preview to GA. I honestly never thought they were going to release it. I thought they were just going to deprecate it along with all the other map visuals, and that was going to be that. But apparently, it took 10 years to add a file download, right? And then a color formatting pane has also to update the color formatting pane and to add a download. It took 10 years to do it, but they got there. So good job. Happy to see the shape map. Date picker for slicers. I mean, are you kidding me? Right? Where you have relative like date picker, where you don't have to reset this every time, the next week comes out or the next month or whatever. I mean, how long have people been asking for this stuff? It's been forever, right? But they've been focused on crap that 99% of the Power BI users don't care one bit about. So who knows why? But apparently now that's all in the past, and they're actually focusing on useful features. So thank God. Scatter chart auto fit markers. This was always been an annoyance to me. So in the scatter chart, it was like if you had a bubble at the edge, it would like cut it off, and so it'd be like half a bubble, right? I always despise that. What an absolute it just makes it amateurish, right? And so you have to like do things like manually expand out the max and min, which that can cause problems, if you get new data in and things like that. So terrible. So they finally fixed that. That's been a pet peeve of mine. I can't tell you how long. Access improvements for bar charts and column charts, right? This one is also kind of similar. So you can do a rounded range option, lets you remove extra axis padding by turning it off, right? That's super cool. I mean, just so many good little things in these updates. Matrix and table fixed with conditional formatting. That's pretty cool. Azure Map selections by default. Tooltip options for Power BI visuals. That is actually really cool. So look at that. You can actually you don't have to write measures anymore for like tooltips and things like that. You can just do it right within the tooltip, right? You can do a sentence template, and here you go. And you can actually input like measures and things like that in there. Really, really cool stuff. Stuff that actually people are actually going to use, right? That's my big thing. For the last 3 years, at least the last 3 years, 3.5 years maybe, they've been focused on stuff that nobody in the community really wants, except for a very, very tiny percentage of the community, and that's all they released. And now they're actually doing things that people are actually going to use. DAX user-defined functions generally available. I still not big on DAX user-defined functions. I'm going to be honest. That just seems like that's just a complicated rabbit hole that people are going to go down and regret it later. But who knows? They got some other stuff in here, but let's go on to the July because you get now look again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, another 10 generally available stuff, right? Or like we were there for a while, we'd go months without getting anything to generally available, right? That the preview pane just kept getting longer and longer and longer. I mean, what a nightmare. So again, something's changed. I have a feeling I know what it is, but I'm just not going to talk about it. Anyway, again, now this one, now update your report defaults, use color palettes with the modern visual defaults. So what this is talking about, I don't know why they can't, hey, we moved where theming is done. I don't know why they can't just say that. Back to report. I hate that still. But anyway, they added this here, and I know this has been getting a lot of press on LinkedIn and things like that, where you have this, report theme. But it really, if you really actually look at this, and it's like, oh, you got these things, right? There is nothing different about this experience, right? In terms of filter cards, filter pane, page, table, visual properties, text. There's nothing different about it than this experience, right? So I've got the same thing where I've got like colors, and I've got my colors and my sentiment colors and my divergent colors, and advanced I can get into second level elements. It's the same features for text, right? So it's not like you can control anything more than what you could do before. I guess maybe you could say that, you don't have to hit apply over here. You can see the changes as you're making them. So that's one thing, but you really can't customize anything in your themes from within Power BI Desktop than what you could before, as far as I can tell, unless they're keeping this in sync with that. But I don't think that's the case, but I'd have to go back to like an old version before this existed to see, did they add anything else that I can see? But this seems about right to me in terms of what you were allowed to customize and what you weren't. So I don't know if that's it deserves all the press it's been getting, and that, hey, we moved where you do themes. Oh, okay. Now, one thing about themes, I know Point released a new theme generator, and it looks pretty cool. They actually found a way to allow you to view your changes on the Point theme generator on an actual report, which is cool. It's not necessarily like, it's not next finish. There's the few things you got to do to get there, but it is a 3-step process more or less, and does involve PowerShell, but it looks pretty cool. I'm not going to lie. So I really want to do a video on that. Let's see what else. Page navigation improvements, simplified title spacing for visuals, visual calculations, lookup function, OR gaps, okay, bookmarks, storytelling, CRUD API. Did some API stuff for paginated reports and OR gaps and audiences. Measure descriptions in line with triple slash. That seems kind of cool. Let me make sure. Yeah, year-over-year sales. So then, yeah, if you do a triple slash, yep. Yeah, you authored your DAX, and then you switch to Model Explorer and you type the description in. Unless you were using the tool that I wrote, Mushcookum, then you could do it all in one, create one thing, and it would create your measure, and you could put in your description, click create once, and it does it all. But so Mushcookum was first in that. So these guys finally fixed it by some kind of weird way of putting in triple slash comments, but at least you can now create a measure, put the description in it, and just instead of having a 2-step process and all that click tax and everything else. So again, good stuff, right? The TMDL view on the web, and that's getting a bunch of press, but I don't care. Semantic model settings pane becomes the default. Model options now available in Power BI Service. Yeah. Anyway, I like where this is headed. Like, I'll be honest with you. Like, after 3 years of just miserable updates, right? 3.5 years of it. Just putting in stuff that I think that a small segment of the community really cares about at all. It's been miserable, and I was actually, I mean, I've been doing Power BI for over 10 years now, if you count the Power Pivots and all that stuff I was doing in Excel. It was really kind of getting boring to me, honestly, and I kind of segment my career into like 10-year segments, if you will. Like first 10 years of my career, I really focused on collaboration tools, Microsoft Exchange, things like that. Next 10 years, it was kind of SharePoint was kind of the main thing that I did. And then last 10 years, it's been Dynamics professionally, and then it's been Power BI as far as personally and that sort of thing. So it was maybe I was starting to feel as maybe it's time to move on and find something else because this is getting boring and it sucks. And the just overall. So I don't know. Maybe I'll stick around with it for a little while longer. I'm not sure I'm gonna jump on that AI bandwagon, to be honest. I know a lot of people do, and it's something I use daily and I keep tabs on it, but I don't know if I want to like talk about it, I guess you could say. So anyway, that is all I had for this video. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.